Hello, everyone. Welcome to the market simulation call for summer 2021 release. My name is Anshuman Vaidya. I'm your market simulation coordinator, and today is June 24th. Calls and webinars are recorded for stakeholder convenience, allowing those who are unable to attend to listen to the recordings after the meetings. The recordings will be publicly available on the ISO web page for a limited time following the meetings. The recordings and any related transcription should not be reprinted without the ISO permission. We'll follow the following agenda today. We'll talk about map stage availability for the upcoming week, and we'll talk about the remaining market simulation initiatives and their timelines. We'll talk about the initiatives separately, then a quick reminder about system interface changes, and then we'll talk about next steps. So currently for map stage availability, we have an OMS UI and API scheduled maintenance from 6/29 to 7/1, and a Cyber UI and API tentative maintenance on 6/25 tomorrow. You can also log into portalmap.kaiser.com to get up-to-date availability information for map stage. Any thoughts or concerns regarding the map stage availability?
Hi, Anshuman. This is Ray calling from PG&E. With the OMS UI and API outage being during the market simulation, because I thought that it starts on June 28th. So if OMS is down the extra 3 days, would it slow or hinder our testing?
So,
hi.
Go ahead, Tran.
Yeah, so what you'll see in the slides, Ray, that's a good question. And this maintenance is in order to get the environment ready for that market simulation. So this is a precursor on another update that Anshuman will give, which is that the OMS UI and API, the OMS functionality will be in map stage for that market sim now starting 7/1 instead of 6/28. And so you'll see that reflected later on in the presentation as well, that the start date has shifted.
Okay, thank you, Trang. Thank you, Anshuman.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Hi. Map stage on Friday, what time is the maintenance window?
Hi, Nora. So in general, the weekly maintenance window is for all day on Friday. We typically use as a placeholder for any maintenance that's needed. Of course, if we don't have anything scheduled, then the system remains available. But our intent was to have it the whole day if needed, unless there's some, if you have specific needs in that environment, then let us know, and if we can work around it, then we will. But
Okay.
Typically it's all day.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Laura. Any other questions we can answer here for map stage availability? All right, let's move on. So I was going to announce before Trang and Isaac stole my thunder, we're going to move our OMS structured simulation dates to 7/1. Thank you for that. We are also going to start our structured simulation for summer 2021 readiness, export, wheeling, and load scheduling priorities on 7/1. We have received the code for both the functionalities. We are testing it correctly in map test, and it's going to come to map stage soon enough. But here we are, that's our testing status as of now, and we are hoping that we can start structured simulation by 7/1. Any questions, thoughts, or concerns?
Hey, Anshuman, this is Chen Yu. So you have the map stage, the OMS UI API out between the 29th and July 1st. So you also target to have the structure running on the 1st? Is that safe
Right.
to move to the second?
So we are hoping that, it will be up by 7/1, but if it's changing along the way, I will keep it more updated. Since 7/1 is a Thursday, we will try to make sure we get the code in before, we can, we have a call or before earlier in the day so that we have whole Thursday and Friday to test it. Since this particular OMS changes don't have any settlements impact, I do want it to save that particular day for market participants so that they can start their testing sooner.
Okay, because normally, I mean, we on of the day of the starting. I mean, I recall that we have to kind of follow the status hour by hour and have to call you, contact you. It is kind of stressful, I have to say that, because otherwise, if we know that you absolutely need the one, then if we move it to the second, our resource can do some other things. Otherwise, we kind of booked it for July 1, but then we kind of have them give them status from hour to hour. Yeah, okay, so it's ready or not ready yet. So, if possible, I just want to say that by the 28th, can you give us better picture as it's going to start on the 1 or the 2nd? Because the last thing we want is having people waiting around and checking the status every hour.
Understood, Chunyu, and a very reasonable concern. And if I'm not able to give you a more clear picture on 28th, I will move it to 7/2 if that's what market participants prefer.
Thank you.
Any other concerns that we can talk about here? All right, moving on. So I have uploaded a new summer readiness market simulation document where you will find these new scenarios, scenario 8 and scenario 9. Scenario 8 has two parts to it, A and B. There are two separate scenarios. Similarly, how we set it up, but we wanted to test it separately. So that's why you'll see two scenarios, scenario 8A and scenario 8B. And then you have scenario 9, which we plan to test it as unstructured. Any thoughts or concerns regarding these scenario descriptions?
Instrument, this is Chinyu again. So I think similarly for the scenario A and for summer phase 3, also saying starting on the 1st. And then if I'm not sure that it's, because I think part of it is people need to go into OMS. If you're going to move the OMS testing to July 2nd, that means we also need to move this to July 2nd, correct?
Well, there are two different code bases, so I'm assuming that some readiness code piece will come in earlier than that, and we would have enough sufficient time to at least complete our end-to-end testing and make the code available for market participants.
Okay, all right. And then another question is for now, just scenario A will be executed on the July 1st. That is the target, correct?
That is the target, yes.
Okay. One more question I have. I did review the scenario A, the expected outcome. In there, just say check CMRI. I wish a little more detail in that script to check CMRI for what. I don't know if anyone has the detail to provide, or should I submit a CD ticket for that?
That's a good question, Chinyu. We just wanted to get the case out first, and I'll get more details based on your recommendation, and I'll update the test case with more details on it.
Thank you, Inchman. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Any other questions that we can discuss here?
Yeah, Inchman, this is Ray again from PG&E. A follow-up question
Ray,
about
go ahead.
scenario 6 and 7. Is it going to be can we test out these two scenarios on every trade date or every day throughout the market simulation, or are there going to be set trade dates for scenario 6 and 7 for the resource adequacy enhancements?
I believe you should be able
structure.
to check this as soon as we have the code available in map stage. And you don't have to wait 7 days before your active outages becomes active. You can choose previously active outages that are currently active and then try to change it to test these scenarios.
Okay, so we can run it every day throughout the 2-week span.
That is correct, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I heard there was one more question.
Yeah, Michael Volpet also from PG&E. So related to that, so for scenarios 3 and 6, we don't have to create these outages 8 days or 7 days in advance. You're saying we can use existing ones. Is that right?
That is correct. And if my SME is Sandhya is on the line, she can provide more details. Let me verify if she's available here.
Hi, Anshuman. Sandhya is not there. This is Ramesh. Yes, that's right. Like you can use any planned outages which is already out, and try to extend or increase the curtailment. So then you can test using existing ones. Correct.
Okay, but if there's no planned outage, then you would have to. There's no existing planned outage. You would have to put it in 7 days. Okay.
That's correct. Probably if you wanted, you can plan now. You can create some of them, so it'll be ready by the time we get the code.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the update, Ramesh.
Sure.
Any other questions here that we can talk about? Just a follow-up on that, Anshuman, this is Ray again. I thought that it would only take, you guys would decrease the 7 days in production to do it in 1 day in market sim. So say for a planned outage day, it starts on the 2nd. Then if we put in a planned outage, it would just take a day. So on July 3rd, we would be able to, I guess, enter in the curtailment or restrict the curtailment based on what's in the structure scenario.
Let me confirm that. What is the configuration on that? I'm sorry, I didn't check that. What we have set up for. But meanwhile, you can continue. I'll confirm that. I'm just checking right now. Yes, we have a configuration where you can modify the number of days for the planned outages. So I'm not sure if it is set to a 1 day or 7 days. If it's in production, yes, it's a 7 days. If you are planning, if you are basically following the production path, so it should be 7 days. But I'll just confirm in a minute.
Thank you, Ramesh. And while he's confirming, we can take any other question we have here. All right. Ramesh, please let us know as soon as you have verified. I'll just move on for now.
Sure.
Anshuman, it's on the structure test scenario. Sorry, this is Chen Yu. Sorry to interrupt. It is showing on the structure scenario, this T plus 1 day.
Okay.
Okay, so then if it's showing, I think then probably that's what it is, but I'm trying to confirm. I'm trying to log into the map stage and see. Yeah, if it is showing, then I think probably we already might have set up. So, yeah. Thank you.
All right. So Ramesh, if there is any difference while you're checking, if you find any difference, let us know. Meanwhile, we can move on.
Mm-hmm.
So for summer 2021 readiness, you will see that we have added an additional date for export wheeling and load scheduling priorities to be for structured scenarios to be run on July 1st. Other than that, there are no major changes on this slide. We do have a new structured scenario document. I would encourage everyone to go to the release planning website and take a look at it. That particular structured scenario document will have scenarios 8A, 8B, and 9 for your reference.
Anshuman, I just checked. Is still sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead, Ramesh.
I just checked. Yeah, it still says 7 days. It's not 1 day, but we can modify if everybody is agreed for that. So we can modify that for 1 day.
Anybody opposed to changing it to 1 day? All right. Thank you, Ramesh.
Okay.
Please go
I'll
ahead.
update as soon as this meeting is done. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody has any questions regarding any documentation or any questions regarding the summer 2021 readiness?
Hi, Anshuman. This is Chen Yu. Do you have a deadline as what resource that we need? Do we need to submit the resource to you in order to participate for this? Looks like there are quite a bit of things that will need the market participants to do during the testing.
That's a good point, Chunyu, and you're right. I think it will be safe if we are able to submit resources, especially for this particular export wheeling and load scheduling priorities by the next market sim call, probably 28th. And I will update the market simulation document to reflect that particular date.
Okay, and also in there, they also request a market participant to submit an RA plan as well. So just want to make sure that if we do that, and you guys need to run the cross validation ASAP in order to facilitate the testing. Thank you.
Sure, Chunyu. I think we can do that, but please let me know from Kai's side if I misspoke anything. All right. Chunyu, can you submit one CD ticket also regarding that question so that I can check with my SMEs and get you the exact answer for it?
Sure. I will actually combine the expect outcome and what I think the steps that one CAISO's confirmation into one ticket. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. All right, any other questions that we can talk about here? All right, moving on. For resource adequacy enhancements track 1, as we mentioned that we are planning to have the OMS changes on map stage on 7/1. I will provide more details by the next market sim call to let everyone know if we are still on track to open map stage environment at the start of 7/1. But if I'm not able to provide any more details on it, we'll probably move the structured scenario start date to 7/2, which is a Friday. Since this doesn't have any settlements impact, we should be able to test it on Friday. Any questions that I can answer here for this project? All right. Moving on. So this OMS summer release plan, it is reflecting the dates we just talked about for OMS deployment. And it has a couple of more dates for OSI 2021 enhancements. Trang, you want to provide any more update on this?
Actually, I can provide that update.
Okay.
So basically, like whatever we spoke earlier for the extension and the expansion. So we are deploying that onto the map stage 7/1. Since it was planned before for 6/28, since we pushed a couple of days for the market sim, so we are also pushing the production date as well. It used to be a 7/12, now it's 7/15, so you don't lose any market sim dates there. So the functionality, like whatever we talked, it is deploying. On top of that, we have many CD tickets, like where when you have any updates for the resource participant dates, like we are, if you have any historical updates, basically you are missing the resource participation link and it's end dating. So that fix is coming into the next release. So that will be a big help for everybody, including us. And then we have this new report, curtail and non-operational generational report. So that is already deployed yesterday. It's actually, they said it's 625 by 625, but it was deployed yesterday into the production. Any questions on this?
Well, thank you. Thank you for the update, Ramesh. I'll wait for any questions. All right. I just wanted to mention one thing. OSI 2021 Enhancements Project. The testing for this particular project will be unstructured. I mentioned it in the last meeting also. I just wanted to reiterate it here. Perfect. If there are no other questions, I will move on. Okay. This is a quick reminder of the system interface changes that are going along with the summer release projects. Anybody has any questions on these? Was there a question?
Yes,
Right.
this is Ahmed. Ahmed, sorry, I was in mute. Ahmed from OETI. As a software vendor, OETI, I would like to really take a look at those cyber interfaces. One of them is the clean bid set version 5 and the bid result. Could you please help me find template of those XMLs?
We can definitely do that. Go ahead, try.
Yeah, thanks for the question. So are you familiar with our developer site?
I have heard about that too, yes.
Okay, so if you go to the developer site and register, we do have a document, the technical specification document, as well as those artifacts that are relevant to the APIs that are listed here. And then if you have any issues or questions from them, let us know. If you want to also send a note to Marketsim at KaiSo, we can also, familiarize you with that site as well.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Trent. Any other questions here? All right, I think that's all I had for today's teleconference. The next meeting is scheduled on June 28th at 2 p.m. I'll now open up for any other questions that we can answer here. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining the call. As I mentioned, we'll see you back again on June 28th. Thank you.
Thank you, Anshuman.